What if the only thing standing between you and being fully understood was your accent, or how you pronounce words in English? I'm Katherine Arthur, and on this premiere episode of Fluent and Fearless, we're talking about accent modification, what it really is, and how it can help you communicate with clarity and confidence. That's important too, because when people hear you clearly, they focus on your ideas and not just your words. Accent modification might just be how you turn your own personal spark into a flame. You know, we've all got a fire inside of us, and we just have to find it. So come on and join me as we explore how accent modification works and how it could be the tool that takes your communication to the next level. I'm Katherine Arthur, and this is Fluent and Fearless. So welcome to Fluent and Fearless as we kick off our premiere episode. Again, my name is Katherine Arthur, and I'm a speech-language pathologist. Now, in case you don't know what a speech-language pathologist is, well, I'll give you a quick explanation. I'm a healthcare professional who assesses, diagnoses, and treats communication, cognitive, language, and swallowing disorders in people of all ages. I also hold certifications in accent modification and in teaching English as a foreign language. And I also own a business called Pronounced Speech and Accent Specialist, where I offer services to anyone who wants to improve their pronunciation of American English. I've been a speech-language pathologist since 2007. I also have an extensive background in radio broadcasting, so in this podcast, we're kind of combining my two careers into one package. Now, if you want to be fluent and fearless to speak with more confidence in any situation, you're at the right place. So why might someone consider accent modification? It's also known as pronunciation training. Well, let's start with the professional side. Imagine you're giving a presentation at work, and you know your content inside and out, but you notice your colleagues are asking you to repeat yourself. Or maybe you're on a video call and you feel like people are focused more on how you say things rather than what you're saying. Your pronunciation of English might just be getting in the way. And that can be frustrating, and it can hold you back, too. Clear communication is often linked with leadership, influence, and credibility. The big three: leadership, influence, and credibility. Accent modification can help bridge that gap. By improving pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation, you make it easier for others to understand you the first time. And when people understand you clearly, they listen differently. They focus on your ideas, your expertise, and your personality instead of struggling to understand your words. And here's the truth. In many industries, clear communication can be a career enhancer. Whether it's interviews, networking, leadership roles, or client-facing work, the ability to express yourself with clarity can build trust, and it can open doors. But let's also talk about the personal benefits of accent modification. Accent modification isn't only about boardrooms and conference calls. It's also about daily life. It's about feeling confident ordering your favorite latte, chatting with a neighbor, or confidently introducing yourself at a party. Many clients tell me that before they had accent modification training, they felt self-conscious. They worried about being misunderstood or being judged. But after learning strategies for clear speech, that anxiety, it started to fade. Suddenly, their conversations felt lighter and easier. They could relax, be themselves, and connect with people without having to second-guess every word. In other words, accent modification isn't just about sounding better, it's about feeling better. It's about having the freedom to focus on connection instead of correction. Now, here's something really important. For those who are speakers of English as a second language, accent modification doesn't mean Americanizing or neutralizing your speech. The goal here isn't to erase where you come from. Remember, your accent is part of your story, your identity, your uniqueness. Think of accent modification like learning a new skill. It's like playing the piano or running a marathon. Accent modification gives you control. You get to choose when to use the strategies and how much to adapt in different settings. Accent modification is about flexibility, not conformity. For example, maybe you want to use a clearer, more standardized rhythm of speech when you're presenting at work, but you keep your natural speech patterns when you're at home talking with your family. That's the beauty of accent modification. You get to decide. So let's summarize what we've learned so far. Number 1, accent modification is about clarity, not about changing who you are. Number 2, it can help you sound more confident and more professional. Number 3, it can reduce stress in everyday conversations. Number 4, and most important of all, it gives you the control over how you communicate. All right, we've talked a lot about accent modification, but how does it actually work? Well, with my clients, the first step in accent modification typically starts with an assessment. And by the way, I offer free assessments. I'll tell you more about that at the end of this podcast, so stay tuned. So an accent modification assessment is really just a low-pressure conversation with me, where I'll listen to your speech patterns and your pronunciation, maybe have you read a paragraph or two out loud. By listening to your speech, I can assess the differences between your native accent and your goal accent. Usually that goal accent is American English, because usually my clients speak English as a second language and they want to be able to pronounce American English more clearly. So during the assessment process, we actually just get to know each other, and that way I can understand what you hope to accomplish during our accent modification sessions. Together during the assessment meeting, we'll develop some goals based on my findings and also based on how you want your speech to sound. Following our assessment meeting, during our weekly sessions, we'll focus on specific sounds, on the rhythm of language, intonation. You'll learn where to place stress on words so that your speech will flow more naturally. You might practice the difference between certain vowels or work on how your voice will rise and fall in a sentence. So your speech is going to flow more naturally. Over time, with practice and feedback, your speech becomes clearer and easier to understand. It's a step-by-step process, and yes, it does take some practice, but most people begin noticing changes within just a few weeks. Now, here's something I want you to know. If you think accent modification might be for you, don't be embarrassed about it, and don't be afraid. We want you to learn how to be fluent and fearless, remember? Working on your speech and your pronunciation doesn't mean that your accent is a problem. No, not at all. It means that you value communication. It means you're investing in yourself. Remember that spark we wanted to turn into a flame? Well, think of accent modification kind of like that. It's like hiring a personal trainer at the gym. You know, when you go to the gym, you're already strong and you've got those muscles, but the trainer just wants to help you refine your technique so that you will get the results you want. Accent modification or pronunciation training works the same way. So at the end of the day, accent modification, it's really about empowerment. It's about giving you the tools to speak with clarity, confidence, and authenticity. Because keep this in mind, your voice matters, your ideas matter, and when you're able to share them without hesitation, without worry, you can focus on what really counts. And what really counts is connecting with others, building relationships, and most importantly, making your mark on the world. So whether you're aiming to level up your career or just want to feel more comfortable in everyday conversations, accent modification, it can be a game changer for you. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Fluent and Fearless. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're curious about exploring accent modification for yourself, check out my website at pronouncespeech.com. pronouncespeech.com. There you'll find all the information that you're looking for, and you can also find out how to book yourself a free assessment with me. Again, pronouncespeech.com. And remember, communication is connection. And when it sounds great, it feels great too. This is Fluent and Fearless. I'm Katherine Arthur, and thanks for listening.